and hopefully people start joining as we carry on. Yep. Welcome everyone. We'll just give a few more minutes for people to join. I can see 14 participants, but I'm expecting more. And whilst we're waiting for people, I think I'll start by introducing Women Coding Community, where we are looking at building a safe space for women to thrive in tech. We started Women Coding Community, started as rose from the ashes when Women Who Code shut down in London. So from there on, I mean, this is fully driven by the power of volunteers, and it's amazing to see how volunteers came together about a year ago and have made this community better, bigger. So our mission is to empower women and to see women at the forefront of technology and innovation. We just don't want to be like in tech. We want to thrive in tech. Not only do we want to thrive in tech, we want to be badass. We want to be, out there innovating and like making technology as our friend. Our vision is to empower women in the tech areas through education, mentorship, community building, and career services. So we are a large community, and you can find your tribe and your safe space in Women Coding Community. We provide workshops and events. We connect members with industry. We have mentors, and we mentor a lot of women. We open mentorship on and off, ad hoc and long-term mentorship, so watch out for that. We also have in-house programs that we run, which you can be part of. So come please volunteer for us. We'd love to have you. It's a very supportive community, and we organize like literally every week. We organize online events, and we have in-person events that you can come and be part of. And also we work with many conferences and provide free tickets to our community. There's a whole range of conferences, and the recent one was Tech Stack, Half Stack, which is a front end and bits, and before that it was the AI. We have a list of projects, and my co-host Letizia is going to run through our projects for us.
Yes, hello. So the projects from the mentorship program that Rajani mentioned before, machine learning track, book club, writing club, speaking club, cloud track, and Q&A track. And if you can scan the QR code in the slide, you can directly join our Slack. And there are different channels, and you can join then the different channels. The one that you are interested in. We have different kind of projects, system design track, mock interviews, very useful, civic clinics, so you can ask suggestions to edit your CV, contributors group, lead code study groups, again, very useful for preparing for interviews, and speaking club. So again, we encourage you to join our Slack and explore a bit more.
Yeah, and we would love you to some of them sat at the panel are actually volunteers in our Women Coding Community, and it's impressive to hear their stories of how Women Coding Community has helped them thrive. So I think this is it. We can continue with our panel. So I think firstly, I'll introduce myself. I'm Rajni Rao. I work as a principal technologist in Aviva, fractional CTO at Mellow Kids. one of the founders of Women Coding Community, and sit on advisory boards like British Computing Society, Harvard Influence Board, etc., etc. And my co-host is Letizia. Letizia, feel free
Yes,
to introduce
I
yourself.
am a front-end developer. I am a career changer. I just started to transition into the tech career world 2 years ago. I did a boot camp and then, start to gain some work experience. And now I work as a front-end developer at Mellow Kids. And I'll be posting some questions in the chat. So if you look at the chat and answer, we'll see.
Yeah. So before I go ahead and introduce the panel, could I ask you what stage are you in your career journey? Yeah? Tech journey, career journey. One, type one, if you want to break into tech. Type two, if you're a beginner and you're starting your tech journey. And type three, if you're a seasoned engineer. So one, two, or three. So we see, Letizia, can you confirm? Are we
Yes,
seeing ones and twos
yes,
mostly?
mostly tools. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, nice. So today's panel, breaking barriers and finding opportunities, we have Marj, Shabana, Arzu, Joanna, and Airat, who will share their incredible stories, like literally very hair-raising, incredible stories. And I'll start by introducing Marj. Marj is a software developer with a strong focus on front-end development. After relocating from Philippines, she's taken on a role as a web developer at Major Digital, and she's passionate about fostering community. Marge actively contributes to women coding community, empowering others in the tech industry. Marge, can you share with the audience what your story is? Who is
Uh,
Marge?
I think Marge is not here yet.
Okay, no
I think
worries.
yeah.
We can move on to Shabana. Shabana, could you share with the audience your story? Rather than me intro, I think it'll be really great if you shared your story.
Okay. Thank you, Rajini. So yeah, hi. I'm Shabana, and I started in tech 19 years, 19 years ago. But I had to stop. My career kind of took a drastic end, and then now after 19 years, I've kind of gone back into tech, retrained myself, and started from scratch, studying and everything, got qualifications, and yeah, just a year ago, I landed a job in Network Rail, and I work as a power platform developer. So yeah, that's my journey at the moment.
Really, really inspiring. So, what did it take? And if you don't mind me asking, Shabana, what did you take? What did it take for you to go from 19 years? What did it take for you to be there to who you are today as an engineer? What did it take? What happened? And um, yeah,
Yeah.
what's your story? Yeah.
So yeah, so growing up, I was told that my sole purpose is to, look after my family and look after everyone. Um, Kind of my career, my passion is not it's not something that I should be pursuing as soon as like I have kids, and I should just kind of go and just look after that. So that's what I really believed in, and kind of carried on believing it. But it never, it wasn't sitting right with me because you know tech was my huge passion, and I felt a big part of me was lost when I wasn't in tech. Um, so, like after going through like raising the kids and started reading books and podcasts, I realized that, I can achieve my dreams. There's no time limit to kind of what you want to do, and that's when everything started changing. Shifting my mindset was the main thing. That, once I started reading and learning more about how you can change your life, and life is not all about just looking after everyone else and being there for everyone else. It's about your own purpose as well. So yeah, that was my turning point when everything started changing for me.
Yeah, thank you, Shabana, for sharing it. Every time you share that, I have, goosebumps. So, and coming from an Asian family myself, I know the expectations as a woman, and what, there are societal norms, and to break the mold and be yourself is quite hard. Let me tell you. So whenever I hear your story, I'm like, wow. I mean, it's incredible what you've achieved to even just like realize it and break that barrier.
Yeah, and with the Asian, it's not those traditions and cultures. It's also like you've been told not to speak up, not to say anything. So you always that kind of person that you're not allowed to express yourself, and that's also like one other thing that kind of has built your character as you go along.
Yeah, true, true. And I've had and I have young kids, and I've instances where my kids have been told, to sit properly, and they are so young, to sit properly, and I'm like, what does properly mean at this time? Like, we don't need to already get them to like behave in a certain fashion. If a boy was running wild, I don't think anybody would have said, hey, come sit properly, right? But if it's expectation from the society, and it's changing, but it's going to take a long time to change the expectations. So say I speak to real estate or builders, and I know that some are respectful and some wouldn't even engage with you because their attitude towards women are like, what do you know about building, and what do you but I think just having those conversations, asking them those questions, they've warmed up and they've realized that, okay, actually, she knows what she's talking, and it helps. And I mean, that came as my like the first shocker when I was trying to buy a house. I was asking the questions, and everyone was looking at my husband and answering his questions. So I was asking the question, they were looking at him and answering, and I was like, "What is going on?" And for me, like in this country, was a surprise. Yeah. So we have someone raise their hand. Yeah, feel free to share. Was it an accident? Yeah, no worries. Okay, thank you for that, Shabana. And can I ask Joanna to introduce yourself, and what's your story?
Yes, hi, I'm Joanna. I'm Portuguese. I came to London to pursue a career in fashion, but last year I changed into tech. So basically, I came from a completely different backgrounds, and I tried some free resources just to see if I enjoy tech before I just like take it serious. And I quite felt like, oh, this is quite interesting. So I just like did the software engineer boot camp. Was like 3 intense months. It was so hard because I feel like every day I needed to push myself more and more. You switch career, and now this is a different path, and you need to push yourself. So yeah, but it was so enjoyable. I've made my first game, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. So yeah, after that, I felt more curious and more interested to explore this new path. So I have been doing side projects. I have been going to networking events. It was when I found Women Coding Community. But now I'm volunteering as well. I am an evangelist. Yeah. And as well, I'm contributing for the project websites, mostly for the front ends. Is amazing, to be fair. Like, I didn't know how to test, or I was like not very good at TypeScript. they work with React, TypeScript, Next.js, Material UI, and Jest, and like everyone was so welcome and so like supporting you and like able to help you. Doesn't matter if you don't know. Everyone wants to you to grow in your career, and that was really exciting for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. There's something about having a community where everyone cheers you on and you feel like, hey, you know what, I've got this, and when
Yeah.
you are down in the dumps, like someone's like there always supporting you is incredible. And I'm so pleased that women coding community actually gives you this space.
Yeah, it's true. It have been giving me many opportunities, and everyone is so nice. It's like a family, to be fair. I enjoy every time that when we met in person or just like in any online event, we laugh so much, we learn from each other. It's just like, it's amazing. And it's important as well for me to grow in this tech world as well. Like they give me wise advice. So yeah, and also, like, yeah, I didn't tell you guys, but I'm looking for my first role. I'm still like looking. So it has been really supportive on that way as well.
Yeah, thank you, Joanna. I mean, like we say, right, for anyone who's breaking into tech, to someone who wants to break barriers and you want to progress to the next level, we have all sorts of programs. I'd like to. I know you briefly touched on this about the tech learning that you get as part of it, but as part of leadership, because you're a volunteer and you lead some of the women coding community events. Can you share how that's changed for you? Have you had, I mean, we all are here. If there are leaders for women coding community, feel free to like jump out and share. But can you share like what has it done to you as a person?
It first, like, it made me feel more confident because I always think like I don't know enough, I don't know anything, I want to quit. But like there is always like someone there that, no, you can do this. They see in yourself things that you sometimes you can see. For example, with mentorship, I have a mentor. She always gives me so much advice and she always try to push me, you can do this. And if she sees that I'm like overworking, she says to me as well, like, you just have a good rest and then everything will be fine. Next day is another day. And yeah, basically, I have been more confident in interviews, job interviews. I have been practicing my skills. I feel like practice is like the key. Practice, 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 and then you feel comfortable with that. And as well, yeah, I have been growing and yeah, enjoying everything.
Thank you. And I think as for like I mentor my mentees, and one thing I enjoy doing is just touching the mentees to go out of their comfort zone just only a little bit until that becomes their new normal, and then you then stretch them. So and without them realizing, they're slowly getting out of their comfort zone until they're very comfortable just operating outside their comfort zone, which I think is incredible. I've never had formal mentors until like a few years ago, and it was incredible the experience of having a mentor and them seeing. So there's this whole thing, isn't it? If where you see yourself, people will see you there. And if there are, it's actually an effect. um the negative one is golem effect, and the positive one, I've forgotten what it is, but all it means, if like if a teacher comes in and she looks at her students and then say, hey, these kids are really bright and brilliant, this particular child is very bright and brilliant, even, and this is a research they've conducted, even if the child is not brilliant, that child will stop performing to match the expectations, which is incredible. And this is why teachers are so important in the whole cycle, or your work environment and your community, or wherever you are, people who look at you like, yes, you can do it, you're bigger than where you are, and just raising that bar for you is incredible. Oh, someone has just shared it. Lena, thank you. Pygmalion effect. That's the one. Yeah, I had to fight using Pygmalion effect for my kid, because one of the teachers said something to my child, and I said that's Pygmalion effect, and she was like, "Oh," so I had to give her a little bit of dose, because teachers are so important in the whole scheme of things in raising children. Okay, now we can Airat, would you like to share your story?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, hi everyone. My name is Ira. I sort of come from, like, would I say, like a traditional background. So I did my bachelor's, my BSc in computer engineering, and actually that was like would I say, like an interesting choice, because I chose that course at a very young age. I'm not sure why my parents trusted me enough to be able to like decide my career at that age, but I wanted to build computers, so I decided to go for computer engineering. And then, probably because of the background I come from, it never really occurred to me just how like the imbalance of like the gender imbalance in the technology sector, until I got into school, and then I realized just like the balance was just so obvious and so clear. Obviously, there were a couple of girls in my cohort, but the ratio was just so clear. So I sort of like had like the mission to just, I guess, uphold the fact that like we could be in this field as well. So I was always very academic, always studying, and like wanted to show people that we could be in this field as well. So I graduated top of my class, and then I got into software engineering in my final year. So I decided to work as a front end developer. And then I think maybe like 1 or 2 years after, I felt like I wanted to like progress more in my academics as well. So I came to the UK for my master's, and I chose software engineering also because like that was the field I was in. And yeah, I guess that pretty much sums up my story. It feels like any step I take, or at any point in my life, it feels like we don't have enough women in tech, or we don't have enough women in tech spaces. And it always sort of like motivates me to want to be like loud, and like just show that we can be in this space as well. It's very hard for me because like I also come from probably not a similar background to Shabana, because like but like in Nigeria, because I come from Nigeria, like women are also um not sure how best to put it, but like it's still, there's still that barrier there. So I guess also because of my background, I never really succumbed to that idea of being the shy one, or being the one to keep quiet. But it's also in my nature, so I constantly try to fight that, and that's why I'm a part of this community, trying to push myself. And we have wonderful people in the community like Rajani that is always trying to encourage us, like, get out there, share your story. And when you have people that support you that way, you get this kind of energy, this kind of confidence that you can do things, and you can be whatever you want to be, because you know you'd always have that support. So one thing that I would encourage everyone to do is to try to like get into a community of some sort, and try to find your space. Because when you have a community that encourages you, that supports you, it does wonders. It just lets you be yourself, and like lets you express yourself. So yeah, that's pretty much me, I guess.
Well said, Airat.
Yeah.
I can't say it any better than you've said. I have been in the tech industry for the last over 2 decades, 25 years, and I've been doing computing as a child. And you're absolutely right that, and now things are shifting, but back in those days, you just become one of those because there's so few. And I come from the engineering background, where there are even like, you know, the only women you'd see is probably the receptionist or HR. So you don't realize 20 years of being in that environment, you become one of them. And the way I started, and the only time I realized that I had actually become a mold that I didn't want to, is when I'd go, like, I had my children, and I go and speak to moms and women, and I always thought I'd more comfortable speaking to men, because that's what I've done all my life. And that was like a scary thing for me. I was like, wow, like I don't even recognize, and you don't realize, because these things happen without your knowledge, right? Otherwise I would have avoided it. So now I'm working backwards on this and trying to make myself comfortable with women, and here I'm sat with all these amazing women and I feel comfortable in my skin. But believe it or not, I was really nervous being around women. It went the other way. So yeah, this is incredible what like the gender parity has impacts on different people. Thank you for sharing your story, Airat. Can I move to Arzu? Arzu, would you tell us your story? And yeah, we'd love
Yeah,
to hear.
thank you. I'm Arzu, and I started my career in telecommunication industry. A lot of years I worked there. 4 years ago, I came in London. I moved to London. Actually, I think this is the comfort zone for me, and I changed to my comfort zone. And I came here, and after I'm looking, first of all, marketing role, and I worked about 2 years on SEO. But after that, one day, I feel I'm not happy for this because I don't want to wait the 6 months for the change something, and for the SEO you are wait every time. So I want to create it to something, build it, and show it, publish it. And after my friend told me why you are changed your career, and I switched here. And 2 years ago, I changed my career. But when I changed my career, also I am worked on SEO. And just night, I am working the software site. And I didn't go to boot camp and anywhere. Just I am working in home. Free code camp, Scrimba, like this. This is the online course. And just I think I have a good skills for the search for the SEO, and I search everything, read everything, and one day I saw on LinkedIn Christmas challenge, post, and I said, oh my God, here is the woman, a lot of women is there, because before that I don't know. And I joined the Christmas challenge. And after the 25 days, they gave me certificate. I'm so happy. Yeah, thank you so much. And after I wrote the blog post, so I feel I didn't feel the alone here. And after 2 years, I am now evangelist and mentor. I'm so proud of myself, and also thank you so much every woman, because it's so important someone believed you. We need to someone say, okay, you can do it. Because when I changed my career and I saw some statistic, just 5 women% is working in industry and 95% man. This is the shock, it's really, I'm shocked when I saw this information, but it's real. And when women, help each other and say, okay, you can do it. This is the important things, I think, important sentences. And also, and someone has told me, you are a woman, because everyone say, okay, marketing is best for you because you are a woman. I say, okay, I want to change it. So I'm now full stack developer. I'm so happy because I'm not started to zero. This is the important things, because I bring to my skills, a lot of skills is here side. It's so important. I'm not started to zero. So, and I'm so happy in here, and I'm so lucky to saw the LinkedIn post. So yeah, and everything is changed when I came this community for me. Yeah.
Incredible, Arzu. That's amazing to hear. So I think just talking to a few of us, I think there was the visibility, right? We need to we need to believe in ourselves. Like Arzu, you said you believed in yourself no matter what, and at the end of it, you got a certificate just by sheer consistently turning up and trying that. So I think um, in my career, when I worked 18 hours, 16 hours, and I would put a lot of effort in. And I didn't get the promotions, the career progression that I needed. You know what actually bought the promotions that I needed and the pay rise? It's basically, I started looking at strategy, right? I said, right, what is bringing impact? What is giving me visibility? So let me work on projects that gives me visibility. Even as simple as like, okay, this is my sprint. What can I pick up from that sprint that I can give a demo of? That requires collaboration with other teams. So these are the aspects that you can pick up. Don't go and pick up something that's safe and that's like, like an admin tick job. Go find things where you think you can give a demo and visibility, and you can learn this by like your everyday you can do in your career. The other thing I realized is you assume your bosses, your managers actually know what you're working on. Of course, he's your manager, right? You'd expect him to know. But what I realized is actually no. So they have a lot going on, and they have a lot of people as well. So they don't keep a record of what your achievements is thing. So your career is your responsibility. So when you start creating your own achievement journal, like about 5 to 6 weeks before the appraisal, right, the performance review, you have your achievement journal. Go put it back and have a meeting with them and say, hey, you know what, I want to get through this, and I want to push myself. If you have skills metrics, look at it and say, I want to push myself for the next level, and here are the things I've done, and I'm actually already working at a different level, which is fascinating. Nobody And what I realize is, as soon as such conversations happen, things just change, things just shift. So visibility is very, very important. And yeah, it's knowing these things. And I think as an engineer and having so much in industry experience, you don't realize it. But I think the more we shout out, there is studies and research that shows how men, like even if they are like 40% qualified, they brag, they think they are 90% qualified. Whereas women who are 90% qualified actually think they're 40% qualified. And I have led teams, and I've had women in my team who are incredibly brilliant, and yet they saw themselves here. Whereas men who just don't, just started and have no clue, they're just beginners. They felt that they were there. It was incredible. Just our mindset, and it's probably linked down to our upbringing, in the society and what's expected of women. But I would actually, like half the same for based on what Airat, Arzu, and Arzu shared. So I would like to invite Marge. Marge, are you here?
Hello.
Hi, Marge.
Hi.
Could you share your story?
Sorry. I was late.
That's okay. No worries.
It's just a long ride. But hi everyone. I'm Marge. I'm actually a software developer. I've been in a tech for like 6 years now. Um, you wouldn't believe that I took like an information technology back in the college days, and like as same as Airat, like I didn't choose it just because I like it. It's just it's just popular back then. Like everyone's like taking computer if you're just using computer, like just browsing something on the internet. Maybe ID is for me, just because everyone is doing it. And then I was always, you know, not passing my programming um, subject before, and most of my classmates wouldn't believe that I'm actually doing coding because I hate it so much. Like
Mm.
I don't know, it's just so happened that I got my first job, and someone someone in my church before heard me that I was just looking for a job, and then I was actually offering them to be an intern because I just wanted to, have an experience. And because when I graduated college, to be honest, I don't know anything, because most of the subjects before is outdated, I guess. So for everyone context, I'm from the Philippines, so I just moved here in London. Just we've been staying here in London for about 6 months now. So yeah, just for a context. So back in the Philippines, yeah, it was a long journey for us. It's a big risk, to be honest, moving here to a completely new country. But yeah, what I did is, sorry, I lost my my thoughts. But yeah, my first job is just, yeah, I offered them to be an intern, and then they told me that, oh, you already graduated. So I started like doing QA before, and like graphic designer. I don't mind doing QA. It's just that I feel like I can do more. The manual QAing is not. I guess it's not for me. Like doing it every day. Is I feel like it's just like every day. I feel like I can do more. So I asked like my first tech lead before if I can join the team, and they just give me a simple task like clone this repo, and I don't know Git. I don't know such things of that one, because yeah, our back in the Philippines, our program is not updated, so no one is really taught me how to really code properly. So I started from scratch most of the time, and then I feel like community has been my go-to. To be honest, I feel like I'm doing coding alone most of the time, and it's hard. Coding is hard, to be honest, and I can say that it is hard, but you're not meant to do it alone. So I feel like that's why I keep on coming back on community, because community helped me navigate through my career up until now. Up to now, so yeah, I've been like doing community back in the Philippines. It's just so happened that my husband got the opportunity to be here. It's just grateful to, because it's a, I think, once in a lifetime opportunity for us. And then, to be honest, it went so fast. The next thing I know that I'm doing interviews here in London. It was so fast that I don't know how I passed the exams, but I think a piece of advice that I can give is, you just have to show up every day. Sometimes you don't have to be 100%. We're just human, not every single day we're okay. We're not robots. And I feel like every day you just have to show up to prove yourself that you're committed, that you're in the long, that showing up, even if like you're 25% of that day.
Thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, I remember this quote like saying that you don't have to be great to start. You just need to start to be great. So that's what I'm doing now. I feel like I need to learn more. I have a lot of things to learn, and having this community made me feel that I can do more. Like Arzu saying, I wanted to have, to break the barriers that only men can do this kind of job, because you know women are capable too. We are capable. We can do this. And I feel like having a community that supports you, that praise you, and that give you a sense of like a push or a tap on your back that you can do it. It makes things more um great. And yeah, like I said, you're not alone in this journey, and coding is hard, but you're not meant to do it alone. So I'm happy that I was able uh to find a job now. So but yeah, and we guys can do it. uh
Thank you. Thank you so much, Marge, for actually being so vulnerable and actually sharing your journey. Um, it's I think here it'll resonate with a lot of women who have found it challenging and can relate to you. I remember the first day. I have been doing computing all my life, like as a child, believe it or not, because I didn't want to do a language, the local language, when we were shipped off from Germany. We chose computing because that's, like one language less to do in India. And interestingly, despite doing computing all my life with the computer science, I joined Philips. And I was given this electronic book, like a big book. And I thought, right, I am doomed. And sat down and I opened the pages. I was like, right, should I quit? Today? Can I go back? I mean, I don't think I can, I can survive this job because it's all electronics, and I've never studied electronics. But I went back, and my mum, who's a really smart woman, she said, just show up, yeah. You will get used to it, you will learn things, and you will survive, and you will be good, and before you know it, you will be acing. So I think, that's your conversations and your story just brought back some piece of my story as well, like on that first day, like, holy shit, can I just quit today? Like right now. So yeah, thank you. I love that vulnerability, and I love your quote. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. I mean, God, how true it is. And technology changes. Things come and go. So even for me, who has been a seasoned, engineer, I have to continue just learning things as they, like new technology, learn, and yeah, you just got to keep going. Yeah, so I think before we start off and have another set of questions, another round of questions for them, I would like to um, ask a question to you all, if I can find that question. um, yes, so
I put it in the chat.
thank you. So what is your biggest challenge in tech right now? Type 1, if it's breaking into tech or landing the first role. Type 2, if it's advancing beyond junior level. And 3, if you want to build confidence in technical discussions. Thank you. Thank you. So to our panelists here, how do you think we can better support, be it organizations, be it anyone? How do you think we can better support women entering tech today? We spoke about a few pain points. How do you think organizations, how do you think anybody, how do you think mentors, a women coding community, whoever, be it your husband, or family or society, support you in entering tech today? So what do you think we can do better?
I think for me, it would be something I had already mentioned earlier, like joining communities or finding your community. Because one thing that I wanted to do when I got to the UK, when I started my master's, was to try to find a place where I could feel like I could actually discuss things, or I could bring up ideas, or I could be myself and like share these ideas. So if you feel like you are alone, it's hard to like progress or go beyond like the point that you are in. So one thing I would say first of all is to try to find communities that you can feel like you can be a part of, or you can belong to. Women coding community is one of those communities. Women who code was one of those communities, and that was how I got into women coding community. And at first it felt overwhelming because I was like, oh, okay, this is such a large community, where do I start from? And I decided to like capitalize on my own skills and joined the mentorship open source project. So at first I was just in the background contributing my skills technically, and from there I progressed to like contributing to like PR discussions. And that was how I met one of the directors, and I got so comfortable that I started sharing like things we are. And And before I knew it, I joined the leadership board. So I feel like if the first thing you need to do is first of all identify like at what point are you currently at, and what do you think you need to find, or like where do you need to get to? If it's community, fine. If it's speaking to friends or family that you feel they are in the same space, I think you can also do that. If it's reaching out to people online, because LinkedIn was also one of the will I say mediums that I used to like try to connect with people as at first. I'm a very introverted person. I don't really know much person in real life. I have like my close friends, but LinkedIn also gave me the opportunity to try to like reach out to people that are probably in positions where I want to get to. Oh, for example, I want to try to like progress from junior to mid level. I try to target those people and then I genuinely reach out to them. So if I find something that resonates with me, maybe on their page or something about their career journey, I try to connect with them. Not everyone is willing to establish a connection with you, and that's something you probably also have to like be comfortable with. It's not a personal thing. They are not trying to like get at you or anything like that. But if you reach out to people that resonate with you and you can genuinely reach out to them, they will definitely also have time for you and you can share your story with them. Try to like find a plan. So that's another way you can, I guess, progress. So LinkedIn, personal connections, and community. I keep saying community because this community has given me like the confidence to be able to like do a lot of things. So I feel like community is one way you can do that. And if you feel like you're alone, then try to get into a community and slowly make connections. Trust me, someone will be willing to talk to you. Someone will be willing to like embrace you, depending on the community that you are in anyway. But yeah, I think that those are the three key things that I would say
Thank you.
definitely works. Yeah.
Thank you, Ira, for that. I definitely think just taking that first step, whatever it is, reaching out on LinkedIn, take that first step. Don't hesitate. And like you said, rejections are not personal, be it your interviews, technical interviews. You think like software engineers and the senior leadership, there's a lot of rejections. And just be comfortable with rejections because you probably were not a good fit and you probably dodged a bullet for all you know. So yeah, so just
That's actually a good point.
yeah, yeah,
Rejections in terms of interviews, that's a very good point.
yeah, and embrace it and yeah, go ahead. I would like to, before we go on to the questions from the audience, I'd like to ask this one question from all of you. If you can share one piece of advice you wished you had received early in your career. I know you're all early in your career, but like, hey, if I had known this.
For me, definitely not to listen to what other people think or say to you. Because people can be very negative for different reasons, and I have since I think my university some teachers, and then when I started working, people that were not encouraging and really made a negative impact on my path. So yeah.
Well
Yeah.
said.
For me, I would say, like, if they say you cannot do it, just do it. Like, don't let anyone just define you and say what you can do or what you cannot do. If you really want something, yeah, go for it. Like, you can fail, you don't know, but at least you tried, and then you will not have regrets. I feel like that is the most important thing.
Arzu, I'll pick on you.
Yeah, I agree with Letizia and Joanna. And also, someone maybe say you are woman and just you are learn the front end side because back end side is so hard. You don't learn it. I think they thinking, okay, woman may be learning coding, but just front end side, or don't listen the negative feedback, every feedback. And every time I feel, for example, in this community, okay, my behind, a lot of women is my behind behind, and don't listen the negative feedback. And I think it's important things in this community, especially mentorship program, a lot of women walking this way before that. So their experience is so important. Just listen to good feedback,
Yeah, I completely agree. And even as a leader, when I'm giving feedback to my team, and I'm receiving feedback from, my boss, I know clearly like there are 3 A's of feedback, where you basically not every feedback is equal. So, learn to like let go, like, hey, that's not building me. That's your opinion, and you can, just learn to like shove it and move on. And like our life has come full circle for me. So earlier when I was, like a junior engineer, I would take feedback very seriously and work at it. But now I realize after that the person I was back then, they tried to change me into something I am not. And now I think, why did I even change? Because at this point in my career, I needed to be that. So, you don't have to change for anyone, right? This is you. Enjoy your, be yourself, enjoy your authentic self. You don't have to fit in a mold. Like just because the leaders are all like, I work with a lot of executives, and like, everything is in a certain way. So you can break the mold. You don't have to fit in the mold, and you can be yourself, and yet create that impact and contribute. And I think, Arzu, that's one of the things, right? Like you believe a lot in yourself. So believe in yourself no matter what it is. Like believe in yourself. Shabana and Marge, can I pull you up?
I would say, for me, I I think I wish I had built my confidence. I had very, very less confidence, and I think that one thing if I was going back, I would work on my confidence a lot more. But I feel like I built my confidence through the community. Like as soon as I joined the community, I felt like my confidence started growing. So again, I think having community, um, it helps your journey as well, like building that career intact.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the only way to build confidence is have the courage, a little by little, just keep doing, take the actions, consistent actions, and before you know it, you will, confidence, will come. Just have the courage. Yeah. Marge.
Rajani solo
Hmm.
yeah, raised the hands before.
Oh,
Just
Yeah.
oh, Ananya. Yes, go on. Hi, Ananya. Yes.
Hi, so my name is Ananya, and this is my first time joining this community. Though I've heard of it, I really thought this community is only for, hardcore developers and coding, and I always refrained myself. But I must say that, today's headline breaking barriers, through this session, I just broke my barriers. And I've seen how every individual, irrespective of the circumstances, the challenges, and how victimized you were, but still you upped your game and took on the challenge, and now um, contributing to making a success and helping like-minded individuals. So it's really wonderful. And in fact, I have always been told to move to tech, but that mindset never sat in me because my journey has always been more in the people-oriented service. So tech is something which I thought I wouldn't understand, but now it feels, after this meeting, it feels it's very simple. It's just a matter of time, and 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 I'm sure the community helps, because I always thought it is more of an individual effort, you know from the beginning to end. But here I see whatever I thought, my limiting beliefs, I could break that. So really wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Ananya, for sharing that. I mean, it's amazing how you summed up everything in like so well. So thank you for sharing, and we are so glad that we were able to get you, to change your self-limiting belief and believe in the power of the community. I mean, that's incredible. So thank you all for your inspiring, journey and story. That's yeah. And just to let you know, Ananya is my sister, and I asked her to join
Aw.
because I wanted her to get inspired by all of you. So I personally invited and I asked her to be part of this. Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you. I'm so proud of all of you, by the way. And I said she needs to see this. She needs to definitely see all of you and what you've achieved. Okay, so Marge, your piece of advice. We're still waiting on your piece of advice.
I feel like in learning tech, we tend to get distracted with a lot of tools around. I mean, nowadays, it's a fast-paced environment. I feel like if I'm gonna go back to my own self, I feel like I'm gonna tell myself that I don't need to learn everything. I'm
Mm,
not, I don't need to rush things. um I feel like because before I tried to learn everything in one go, because I feel like I'm rushing things, or I don't know if I'm running to something else. I feel like if you chose something uh that you wanted to learn, just stick with it. Because yeah, like I said, coding is like a commitment.
mm,
um Sometimes we're gonna get tired for sure. Like learning JavaScript is hard, learning HTML is hard, and you're gonna get to that every time you started a new programming language or tools.
yeah.
I feel like you have to stick with it and show up every day. I'm just gonna, it's me I'm talking to myself, and I feel like I need to build, because before I don't focus on making my fundamentals right. But I feel like now that I realize it, the fundamentals is always gonna go back to your, it's gonna build your journey up to
Mm,
your
mm.
your future career. So I feel like you have to merge, you have to do the fundamentals and make it right. Because
And enjoy that.
you
Enjoy the
enjoy
journey. Take it slow. Like
trying to
getting there
rush
is not the
things.
destination. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the only enemy that you're gonna compare yourself is yourself, no one
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
and I feel like you really have to communicate how you think and how you feel, even if it's your boss. You have to really say what you're thinking. You have to communicate to people. You it's We tend to say yes all the time. For example, if your manager gave you a task, before what my immediate reaction is just, okay, I know what I know, this I can do this. And then when I was doing it, to be honest, I don't know what the fuck is this task. And then it's my ego that, no, I can do this, but ended up not doing it the right way, or over engineering things because I didn't communicate.
Mm,
Maybe a
mm,
simple fix, but I took, I took a prideful path because
mm.
I want to show to my boss that I can do this. But no, I feel like coding is a communication. Uh, Part of it is communication, really. So, and don't be afraid to say no. I tend to say yes all the time, even if it's not doing it great on my end. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. So I think we all fall. I've been, walked this path, right, where we think, oh, we don't want to ask for help.
Yeah.
We fall into the technical competence, right? It's called a competency trap, where we want to learn everything and we want to be experts, and it's also the ego when it comes to like asking for help. But there's a balance, there's a right balance of when you can go and ask for help, and when you can actually try it. Because if at the jump of it, if you keep asking for help, you're never going to like engage your problem solving, right? So
Yeah.
you first give it a go, and then it's sometimes easier to like get the input, get the context, and try and solve it as well. Like you said, very well placed communication is really good. So I think if I were to ask all of you, yes, tech skills is important to work in technology, but I think the biggest skills are these power skills that I say, communication being one of the biggest
Yep.
biggest ones. And so this is me naively thinking when I was an engineer, right? Naively thinking, oh yeah, I mean, I can code and I don't need to like communicate. I don't need to network with people. As long as I put my head down and churn and give you the code, everything will be great. My career will be great. But actually realizes the opposite is true, which means, networking, be very strategic about your networking. Go reach out to people, form connections, different ways of like knowing people. And I think the more you go in progress in your career, this becomes more and more important, because you want sponsors, right? You don't go look out and say, hey, can you be my sponsor? But you make sure that you are with people, they see what you're doing and what you're capable of. And when, they're making decisions about who to promote, then you come into their, you pop into their head. So, like trying to see, show that you have been working, remind your managers what great work you've been doing. And, I wouldn't say brag, but if you focus on the things, the impact you've created, there's nothing wrong with sharing your impact. And I think as women, even including myself, we all hesitate to show the impact we've created. So if you turn around and say, hey, there's nothing wrong in negotiating, there's nothing wrong in showing the impact, I think it'll really help with the career. And that's what I would say to myself. Like, don't put your head down, go and reach out to people, communicate, form that network, have that visibility. Once you're networking, you have that visibility, and just go and be yourself, because naturally, I'm an extrovert and I just love talking to people.
Yeah.
um,
And sorry, just to add, I feel like there's a lot of like good and awesome developer out there that doesn't know how to communicate as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they can do the code, but they can't work with everyone.
Yeah.
They don't know how to work
Yeah.
with their workmates.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. We want someone that can easy to work with, someone that I can talk to, someone that I can I don't know, no talk about the code itself. So yeah, I feel like communication, it's like a super soft skills that people tend to forget, but it's gonna get you a long way.
Yeah, and
And
connection as well. Like I think
yeah,
when I've noticed, sorry, Arad, just tagging on to what Marge said, that as a manager, when I have to chase my engineers for responses, it doesn't sit well because I'm expending my energy. But for the engineers who actually are proactive, I feel this is great. They've solved half my problem. So if you are trying to see what is your boss's pain point and actually tick off, that's another thing to look at. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Just to back up your point and Marge as well, because I would say I'm an example of the type of developer that would just always get buried in code and not really build like the communication skills. So like that was how I started off when I finished school, and I would say that probably came from also working just with, I'll not say also just working with men, but like I also almost always found myself being the only girl like on the engineering team, because I'd always worked at startups. And so like I sort of unconsciously developed that I'll not say ability, because not an ability. I developed that habit of just focusing on getting work done and not really building that relationship, building that connection, talking to people, just getting work done. And that that doesn't help at all, because now you get stuck in that cycle of trying to move on or trying to grow your career, move to the next step, but you've missed out on trying to build like that fundamental skill, which is communicating with people, building relationships with people, building like your reputation, your brand, that will get people to like know your work and know your abilities and your potential, that would eventually get them to be your sponsors. So that's something I still struggle with. And I just wanted to say that if you're in the same position, or you feel like that's probably hindering you from moving on to the next step, it's a journey. I'm still in the journey as well. I'm still trying to improve. I'm trying to see how I can reach out more to people, how I can connect with colleagues, make relationships, build relationships that will show me and my potential well. I'm not sure when I will get to the point where I want to get to, but I feel like if you keep pushing and you keep putting yourself out there, trying to keep being uncomfortable with trying to like build out all of these things, we would probably eventually get there. But yeah, I just wanted to say that also, yeah, it's fine if you started off that way, but once you realize that that's not the you probably not get to where you want to get to if you keep being in that way. Yeah, you'll be able to move on.
Yeah, I think Henry Ford had this famous statement, isn't it? So he said, if you don't change anything about yourself and the things you're doing, you will continue to produce the same output, and you will be the same. Unless you change something you're doing, you won't see different results. So yeah, yeah, it's a very good, it's a very important aspect, and I would say it's a journey. This journey has no destination, right? The more you advance in your career, this will continue at different levels. So right now you speak as an engineer, then when you get into leadership, it's another thing. So it's a constant thing, and it's, it'll iterate until, and good is good enough, right? You don't, like, let's not aim for perfection. Good is good enough. And if, you realize that, hey, I wasn't doing something good, just like, say, right, I take that feedback, let me see what I can do, and focus from, shift that feeling or feeling bad to, like, change it into what actions can I take, so this doesn't happen next time. I like I say, uh, I work with a lot of executives, and there are times where I'm like, oh, this went bad, but I can go on an overdrive thinking, like an amygdala attack, or I can say, right, okay, you go away, because you're not serving me. But what I will take from that is never do this, or do this, or come prepared, or whatever. So just shift your feelings to action, and I think, yeah, that's something comes by habit and comes with practice, to like shoo your the overthinking, and we often, I think, are very critical about ourselves. So yeah, shoo it all away, and switch to action a little bit at a time.
There's a
Right.
question in the
Mhm.
chat.
Yeah.
So Turgu, sorry if I pronounce it wrong. I recently changed my career from education to tech. I completed a bootcamp in front-end development, and I have 1 year of experience. I moved to London in February 2024, but I haven't been able to find a job yet. How long does it usually take to land the first job as a front-end developer in London? Lately, I've been feeling like giving up. I don't have a tech BA, so do I still have a chance to succeed with that one?
Absolutely. I think there are like fantastic examples here who don't have a degree in tech, haven't given up, and worked hard. So I'll actually call upon the panelists to actually share this question. Anyone want to take this question?
Yeah, since I recently had a job here in London, I don't have like a tech BA. I only have like 3 years course, to be honest. But I think what the company told me, because I specifically asked what made them decide to contact me, is more of like the experience that I already have in the industry. But when I started like applying for role here in London, I, I actually took a career program just because I don't know how the market here in London. I studied it purposely. So I sat down and jot down all the, I don't know what's the the actual resume that's actually appealing to the companies or such. And then I technically in practice my how I answer questions. Yeah, like Regina's mentioned that rejection is part of it. Um, and then I feel like I've been intentional on how I apply. I don't, to be honest, I didn't send many application. It's not me bragging how I landed my job here in London. It's more of like I've been intentional of how I approach the application. I feel like the company is looking for someone that's actually care about the company. They don't they want you because you know how the company is working. You actually know and you want to be part of it. So they want to see that they really want to see that you're actually research, or I don't know, feel like you looked up to them intentionally, because a lot of because my experience before is I just send a lot of application without knowing what the company is, to be honest. And then the first thing they ask me is, so do you know anything about us? And before I don't know, because I'm just sending a lot of application. And then since he mentioned he that his bootcamp developer is like 1 year of experience. My piece of advice is know yeah know the company, know the tools that they're using. I feel like you have to really make an effort to show them that because what I did is to create a project that's actually related to the company. Because I already because yeah, I've been so intentional to that application. So I research their tools, I research all the podcasts that they're
Wow.
listening.
That's commitment. Yeah.
I really like make it so obvious that I want to be in your company.
Mm.
And then I created the project specifically for that application, just to show that I can adopt quickly, that I already know the tools that you're using. So just
Wow.
spare me.
So it's a great tip. So I think from my end, if I were to say, as at women coding community, like let's see if you can share the Slack channel. Come and join the Slack channel. There is right from the resume clinic. So they're going to look at your resume and give you feedback.
Yeah.
There are going to be mentorship as well, where the mentors are going to help you, ad hoc mentors. There's also like you can ask questions and people will help you out. People will jump on the call and yeah, help you out there. So there's and can give you advice. So that's what I would say. But I'm blown away with Marge's commitment and how intention she was, and in applying for the company. So that's
But
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like the resume is really, really, really important, that to be, to stand out first,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I mean, my company will not, talk to me if the resume is not appealing, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you really need to build the resume and the right wordings that you need to put on your resume. It's really, really, really important. But yeah, I feel like you don't need to send many application. It's my it's my
Yeah.
opinion. You just need to be intentional of your application.
Yeah. How about Shabana? Last few words from Shabana, Airat, Joanna. Any? Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
have any?
I just wanted to say that also don't be too hard on yourself, because you mentioned something about, do you still have a chance to succeed without having a tech background? Yes, definitely. I would say like the job market hasn't been so great for like the last 1 or 2 years. A lot of tech layoffs. So in the market we have like a lot of experienced people as well. So like it's a very competitive market now. So try not to be too hard on yourself that, oh, you've been trying to apply for a job for so long and you've not gotten one. So like I know how that feels, because like I also experienced it at first, but I kept pushing, I kept trying to apply. I joined communities that kept me motivated. I attended networking events, and I eventually just kept applying for jobs and still being intentional about it, the way Marge said as well. And eventually I got like a role at a startup. So also another thing I would say is go for all opportunities that you feel would be like a good fit for you, because you never know which one would actually click. So it might feel like, oh, this one doesn't, you're not sure about this one, but if you're really interested in the role, still go for it regardless. And also don't take rejection to heart. So don't let all the rejections get to you, because all you really need is just one yes. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Sarah also has some good feedback. All I would want to end with is saying, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. You have a community that'll support you. Please don't give up.
Yeah.
If you give up, we wouldn't be here. So don't
Exactly.
give up. And I'm hoping you can be you can
Yeah.
be in our next next cycle of breaking barriers
Yeah.
and talking to others and sharing your story.
I mean, if you guys want also to connect on LinkedIn, I'm happy to
Yeah.
answer
I
some
just wanted to
questions.
share. I'm applying for 1 year, and I'm still here because, like, I really want.
Yes, let's go.
Awesome.
Don't just focus on applying. Also, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Practice your skills. Get confident. Get good at this. Keep yourself active. I have been doing courses. I have been posting on LinkedIn, and at some point, recruiters come to you, talk to you, give you opportunity. The market is really bad. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Just send us a message anytime. I have this community who has given me a lot of support. That's why I keep going as well. Like, yeah, don't give up.
Awesome. Could I think we are coming to the end of it. Can we, Letizia, Airat, whoever is really good at this, if everyone's comfortable, turning on the video, thank you. I do not have to say your name to go for turning on your camera, but if others are happy to turn on the camera, we can take a picture. Those who don't want to come on, yeah, that's fine as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the picture. Please do try to come on video. We'd love to capture this moment as well. But if you're not comfortable, that's fine. So we'll probably give you like a few seconds. Try to turn on your camera, and then I'll take the picture.
Say cheese.
1 sec. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I'll just try to get one more as well. 3, 2, 1. There you go. That's done. Thank you.
Thank you so much for everyone. Yeah, there's a feedback form which I think Letizia will share. Thank you all, and the audience, feel free to unmute and share whatever you feel like, if you want to come and share. And yeah, we all here, come to the community, reach out to the panelists, reach out to us on LinkedIn, whatever it takes. Yeah, we all here for
Yeah,
you.
we're happy to answer your questions. So
anything, yeah.
guys.
Thank you so much, you amazing women. You've you always inspire me, and I love to spend my time with you all. And thank you, Letizia, for being an amazing co-host. Like dropped in last minute, but you took on the challenge.
Thank you.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you all. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Airat, you will stay here.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I think Rajani has to stop the recording.
Oh,
But she's
yeah.
left, so I'll try to join with the community email and then stop the recording if that's fine. Or can you?
I'm trying, but it
Um,
looks like I can't. Yeah.